It is, of course, me, Reese T. O'Leary of Purple Flame and Company. That's right, PERPELFLAME. Now. I want to check in with the ether and see what is happening in the collective consciousness. So we're going to be doing a live collective consciousness reading. And this is a time, bright. It is a collective consciousness timeless reading. So whenever you see this reading is when it is meant for you. This will not be individual free readings, so please don't ask in the comments. Well, you can ask if you want, but the answer is no. If you would like to book for a reading, we do still have some spaces available for April 2025. So all you need to do is simply email us at perpelFlameManagement@protonmail.com. I will drop the email in the comments below. But it is around on the Facebook page, so you can find that quite easily. Oh, that's better. Need to diffuse some of that light. That was bright. So, as soon as I finish this cigarette, I've already counted my 3 decks of cards that we are going to be using today, as per usual. The Spirit Warrior deck, the Soul's Journey Oracle Lesson cards, and of course the Saints and Angel cards. I'm just very curious to see what is happening in the ether. Yes. There also seems to be something happening on the land of Facebook as well. I'm having people message me saying that there's different things happening when they're trying to comment on videos and stuff like that. So just make sure that if you are wanting to see when these videos do go live, you do have the correct notifications set up. I can't control what notifications you're getting, what notifications you're not getting. You just need to make sure you are notified. And I apologize, there's a light which ironically somebody gave to me who the light's not working, let's just say that. So that's very indicative, I think, of the relations as it may stand. I might just leave that on white while we're doing this, because it seems to have a bit of a nice diffusing tone. Someone mentioned to me earlier today, they're like, oh, we're going through a portal, it's the 22nd of the 2nd, and I'm like, oh, so it is. Maybe that has something to do with the interesting energies that be. I've had some weird comments on here today. Weird energy. Paranormal experiences. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go and check out the other live video after this one that I posted earlier today. But as soon as I finish this, we will be jumping straight into our session. So drop some comments. Let me know who you are and where you're watching from. If you're a part of the tribe, and if you are not, either which way. Very interesting energies, I got to tell you. And I'm just sitting back observing at the moment. Observing the energies that be, right? I'm always paying attention. I'm always switched on, right? As a practicing witch, I wish to remind everybody that's what I am. That's what I do. I'm always tuned in, and whenever I need to know more information, I tend to jump into the ether realms. And when I jump into the ether realms, I can get a bit of a better understanding of what's happening out there, in the planes of existence. I definitely know there's something going on. There's something, I can feel it. I can feel that energy. So if you've been feeling a little discombobulated yourself, let me know in the comments. I'm curious to know if anyone else can feel this. It's just a presence. There's a presence of energies. And I can just almost put my fingers on it, but not quite. So let me tell you though, if anyone's watching, and I mean, there's almost a weird feeling of I'm being watched, right? And I've had that feeling before. Oh, hello. Hello, Townsville. Oh, well, listen, not currently a member, that is so okay, but you are definitely a part of the family, right? You're a part of the Purple Flame and Company family. There's just a very fascinating energy. And let me tell you, I've had this feeling before, as I was saying, where people have been watching me, and I mean casting upon me or doing whatever they think they're doing to me. And let me just put some warnings out there to people. I would not be messing around with me and my spirits, yeah, because I do dream every single night. I had a very odd dream last night, very, very odd dream. I was in an elevator at one point and it was going downwards but diagonally, and I remember saying in the dream, this feels like Charlie in the Great Glass Elevator. You know, it's very interesting. Usually going down denotes, as my astrologer reminded me, is going into the subconscious, right? So going very deep. There's just a very, very fascinating energy. So I'm sure our little friends over here are going to give us some insight and awareness as to what exactly these energies are all about. But I want you to all pay attention, because it may be me, it may just be a me thing, right? And I'm open to that, but I actually think this is more of a collective. You know, I didn't happen to notice today that a major airline here in Australia, Jetstar, did have an outage throughout the entire country. You know, that could also be indicative of energetic shifts and patterns. There's just a very, very fascinating energy. And I'm watching, right? And then that random comment, I don't know if that person's going to be watching again, but I posted about some of the paranormal experiences over the last few days, and someone commented saying that someone said I'd been threatening them. And I was like, hello? Knock, knock? Excuse me? What's this about? So just a reminder to everyone that is watching as well, there is a scammer account that pops up every so often. First of all, Purple Flame and Company, so the page you're watching me on, we don't have messages. We don't outward message. We don't have inward messages. The only way to get in touch is by email, perpelFlamemanagement@protonmail.com. That is on the Facebook page, and as I said earlier, I'll put that in the comments below. That's the only way to get in touch. Unless you have my private account, which is called Ropol, ROPOL. And I really don't like it when... That's loud. I really don't like it when people message that private page, because, again, I like to keep everything kind of in the box of emails, and that way I can keep track of everything a lot more coherently, and my assistant, Imola, has access, etc. So if you message Ropol and you don't get a response, and it's to do with bookings, readings, whatever it might be, that's why. And I'll always try and redirect you over there as well, because it just keeps it all in the right box. But I think someone's watching. I think someone's trying to do a little bit of this at the moment. Someone's having a spy. And let me tell you, I'm not the one to be spying on. I'm not the one to be spying on, because I always find out. I always find out. But have you been has anyone else been having similar odd feelings? Hi, Mary Jane. I'm just reading your comment. I watched your spooky... Listen, the spooky happenings that have been spooky happening. we've been monitoring those for a while, and the property itself, we have, and again, I'm not willing to talk about it too much because I don't have a full answer for you, but I can tell you, as someone that's done a lot of paranormal investigation work myself, that is the oddest property I think I've ever been on in my entire life, yeah? Even when I was driving home from north down to south, I stopped off at this town because I really needed to go to the toilet, and I waited for a rest stop. And it was one of those towns where you just pull off and you're in the town and there's like 4 or 5 houses. It was giving me like Deliverance vibes. It was creepy. And there were these 2 kids riding around on a bike, and they just kept looking at me, and I was, very much having my cigarette, just like, oh, okay, hello. Just looking back at them, I was just like, get me out of here. Then, actually, I forgot to mention this. I forgot to tell you all. I stopped off at this other place on the way home, and it was pitch black, right? And there was a truck parked there was a car, but it didn't look like it had anyone in it. And the van started driving itself. It was in park and everything, and it just started to move forward. And I went, oh, I don't like this. I think the car's trying to tell me we need to go. I just got a funny feeling, and I was like, oh, I'm not getting out here at all. So I just quickly, took the handbrake off, and off I popped. I was like, I'm getting out of Dodge, because this was like some Ivan Milat vibes, that one was. If you don't know who Ivan Milat is, one of Australia's most notorious serial killers, who used to like to bury bodies in state forests and all sorts. There's just been some weird vibes over the last few days. Weird vibes, yeah? Alright, let's get this reading happening. Let's get this cranking. What does the collective consciousness need to know in this moment in time on this apparently portal day of the 22nd of February? Again, if you're seeing this later than the 22nd of February or whenever you see this video, it is right for you. If you're here watching this live, then obviously you were meant to see this live. So welcome, hello. Imola's property we have explored, right? And I can tell you some of the things that are on there. I can tell you that there is, and I don't speak on this lightly, okay? So if I talk about things and they sound a bit far-fetched, ask questions, because I don't speak on this lightly. There's an area which I've called the Fairy Garden, or the Fairy Portal area. That's down by the chicken pen, and we walked down there one day, and I shit you not, outside of that area, it was daylight, and it was like a summery-esque day. We walked through these bushes and walked down, it traverses down into like a little gully, there's some water and whatnot, and it went all cloudy and misty, and all of a sudden there's droplets of water in the air, and I'm like, where did we just go? And it was very much we were being watched. I could feel that. And I just kept saying to them, okay, I don't think we should be here right about now. I just don't think we should be in this part, and I don't think, we need to just be very, very humble in our approach to how we're acting right now, right? We don't know whose presence we're in, sort of thing. Nice area, don't get me wrong. And then as soon as we walked back out through the bushes, the landscape changed again, the sky changed again, the weather changed again, and it was back to what it was before we went in there. And I was like, okie dokie. And again, you got to understand, Imola and I, witches, okay? Tyson, not a witch. Very much Darren from Bewitched, if you get the reference, right? Non-magic folk with magic folk, right? So he experienced it as well. He gets a bit funny because he experiences things with us, and he's like, did that just happen? So there's the fairies, who I call the fairy kingdom people. There's something else on the property. We don't know what it is, but whatever it is, it eats animals. And we know it eats animals because we found the little area of stone. It's like a little stone cutting board almost. It's a rock and it's flat on top. And there was another rock that we found nearby that's something that you would use to chop things. And at night, right, we can hear this noise. Right? We hear, it's like stone on stone, very distinct. And so that we know when that thing's out and about because we can hear it, and that's usually around 10:30, 11 o'clock. Not every night, but most nights. What else? There's the thing Imola and I saw. We walked down to the dam one night late at night. There's a few dams on the property. And we walked down to one of the dams, and we saw this thing scatter down the tree, something big, and get into the water, and it just never came back out again. And we stood there for a good 20 minutes. We're like, what was that? You know, what the fuck was that? There's the Wailing Woman down by the same dam. What else have we discovered? There was the thing that we saw one night where Imola was like, did you just say that? And I'm like, yes, I did just say that. And she heard the gasp in my voice where I went, and she goes, oh, I've never heard you that scared before. And I was like, that's because I've never been scared before. Yeah, there's some weird shit on that property. And their property backs onto state forest and a trail that people go horse riding on and whatnot. And I can also tell you, whoa, hello. We have a jumper. Fear. I realize that I'm testing my resolve to live in the energy of love. Yeah. Alrighty, Roo Spirit. I hear you. Yeah, there's the Wailing Woman. She's 3 a.m. And then there's, that's what I was saying. There's military tunnels around there. Like full-on military tunnels built into these mountains. And that is, you can look that up on Google Maps. It's literally listed on Google Maps. And there's big signs when you drive past, you know, do not enter military zone, unauthorized access, all that jazz. It's a weird, strange area. It's a strange area. If anyone's familiar with Tambourine Mountain. Yes, maybe it might be possible to do a live video at nighttime there. The weather and the reception is not so fantastic. You know, I get little droplets of bars of reception. But when I go back up, I'm hoping that eventually we can get some trail cams set up, some actual, you know, outdoor trail cams so that we can see if we can capture anything on camera. But I do know that when Imola went into labour last week, her mum actually came and looked after her son. And her mum got freaked out because she heard the Wailing Woman. Now, a correlation that I found is that happened one day before I arrived, and one day after I left, the Wailing Woman was heard again. So I'm like, is it me? Am I the drama? Am I bringing what is this? But definitely, I can tell you that Imola and I, we just know better than to talk about the stuff at night when we're there. You know, when we're there at night, we just don't talk about it. If we hear it, no, we didn't. We'll talk about it tomorrow. You know, you just don't freak yourself out about it either, because it's very easy to get. Put it this way, I don't even go outside for a cigarette at night. Or if I do, I turn every fucking light on that I can find. Because there are some weird vibes, I can tell you. Weird vibes. There's a lot of magnetics around that mountain area as well. So interesting. Only time can tell, I suppose. All right, I think these are just about cooked. All right, let's go. Interesting. I'll give these a shuffle. These are the Saints and Angel cards. Oh, and if maybe you haven't heard me speak on this before, but there's also a mimic on the property. If you don't know what a mimic is, a mimic will mimic voices, right? And we've had a couple of experiences where we'd be out burning, at night time. And this one particular night, Tyson and I were just sitting, having a beer, down by the fire, right, which is a considerable distance from the house. And, a few hundred meters down the side of, into the gully. And Imola was like, okay, it's like 1:30 in the morning. I'm going up to the house. I'm going to go to bed. All right, cool. So about 5 minutes later, she calls Tyson and she's like, where are you? And he's like, we're sitting exactly where you left us. What do you mean, where are we? She's like, no, you're not. You just followed me up to the house. I heard you behind me. I could hear the gravel, and I could hear you walking and talking, and I could, and then I heard Reese's voice. Where are you? And we're like, we're literally down. We haven't said a word in 5 minutes. We didn't talk, nothing. So that one was interesting. So there's something that likes to mimic voices and mimic sounds on the property. There's all different kinds of energies there, and it leads me to believe that the property in and of itself is either attached or is some kind of, I hate to use the word portal, but it's some sort of gateway or something. It's something, that's for sure. And it lets things through. You can quite literally feel when the energy shifts, and you don't need to be psychic, you don't need to be anything, you don't need to be intuitive, you don't even need to be sensitive to sense when the energy shifts there. You feel it, trust me. Are you okay, Winston? Why are you looking at me like that? He's sitting. Are you okay? Why are you sitting there? Oh, interesting. Last deck. Thursday. Everyone needs to pay attention on Thursday. That just came through. All right. Sure. Thursday is going to be an important day for some sort of conversation. Something that needs to be said and or something that needs to be heard. Important conversations. I'm getting the phraseology of like honest conversations. Don't you worry, I am very careful. Just reading a comment for everyone that's watching this later. Mary, I am very careful. We are very careful. Absolutely. We're very much on our toes, if that makes sense, when it comes to... Look, it took me a long time to work out that all these things weren't one thing. I thought it was all one thing. And there was another experience I had there once where I gave Imola a reading, and Tyson was there with us, and I was getting very disturbed by the reading because I shit you not, we're sitting outside and I've had a joint, right? And I'm like, am I just feeling the feels because I've had a joint, or what's going on here? Because all of these spirits were parading in, and I'm talking not just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 spirits, hundreds, and I'm going, and Amola's like, are you okay? And I'm like, no, I am fucking not okay. You know, what is going on? And then I remember Tyson put his head down on the table like this, and I remember this is part of the way through the reading, and Amola was like, you can go to bed, honey, if you want. Like, you don't need to sit here with us, you know, blah, blah, blah. And we found out from him the next day, or over the next couple of days, he's not a big talker. And he eventually spoke up to Amola and said, I started to see the spirits, and it was freaking me out. And I was like, okay, well, at least have I mentioned the glowing eyes? The glowing eyes in the trees that like to move? Just like they're floating around. There are so many things on that property. Like I said, at night time, you don't leave the house. You don't leave the house. And dear Amola doesn't have any fucking curtains. So it's like, you know, you just I've learned to just walk around and pretend like nothing's happening, you know? If I need a glass of water in the middle of the night, I just go and get my glass of water and I go back to bed, you know? And I don't go outside for a cigarette, nothing. Even at night time, I feel very odd about walking on the grass. There's like a grassy area. I don't like leaving the undercover area. I just, For me to be saying that, trust me, I've taken ghost tour groups to Manly Quarantine Station with and there's some presences there, trust me, that are very heavy, and I'm fine with them. I'm fine with ghosts, yeah. Ghosts don't do anything to me. I'm like, oh, cool, there's a ghost. Cool, there's a spirit. Cool, there's a poltergeist, you know. I'm pretty alright with most things. This is another kettle of fish. And it's not just one kettle of fish, it's like 25 kettles of fish. So my plan is to try and document and figure out, what about the thing that creates its own darkness? That thing's interesting too. And when I say it creates its own darkness, it literally creates black, like a Anywho, I don't know if I'm supposed to be talking about it, but I've always wondered, I'm like, is this some weird Stranger Things bullshit going on? If you don't know the show Stranger Things, it's about military experiments in tunnels underground, and all sorts of creatures escape, and rah-de-rah-de-roo, and a psychic child, and rah-rah-rah. So only time will tell. Only time will tell. But yeah, it's a bit like if anyone's ever watched any YouTube on the Appalachians in America, it's a bit like the Appalachians, yeah. If you heard something, no, you didn't. If you saw something, no, you didn't. Right? No, you didn't. You just carry on. Alright, last shuffle, and then I'm pulling a card, and then let's go. Aha. Alright, so from the top of the deck, the first card we have is the Discipline card, Out of Alignment. The Discipline card says, I can accomplish what I set my mind to. Now, this card's in reference to the fact that there is a shift occurring. There's a shift occurring for each of us. There's a shift occurring in the stasis of the collective consciousness. We're attempting to shift. It's because there's so many different things, so many different vested interests going on all at one time. More people are becoming aware of more things all at once. What else are you showing me? And also we're receiving so much more information at the moment. I'm being shown that we're being sent more information, and there's more coming. More information, more information. More of the collective consciousness needs to be more aware of what is coming. More of the collective consciousness is going to be aware of what is coming. Now, when I say what is coming, it's referring more to information, knowledge, wisdom, and power. Power in the sense of when we know more, we are more aware and more knowledgeable and more powerful. I think it's indicative and very interesting that one of the cards that jumped out before was the fear card, because there's the love card over the top of the discipline card. The discipline card, again, is referring, I feel, more to the fact of not that we're not in a state of discipline, but we don't feel disciplined, right? In our schedules, our patterns, they're out of whack. They're all over the shop, right? And that's on purpose, okay? In order for us to experience the rapid changes or the change, to get from point A to point B, there might be a lot of mess in between. In order to get from one state to another state, you have to change things around. It's like a Rubik's Cube, right? In order to get from all the colored squares to the colored sides, you need to change things around rapidly. That's what we're experiencing right now. That's what you're experiencing if you're watching this. Spirits, let me just sit with this for a second, please. Spirit's saying as well, we need to be mindful of where our minds are going and what our minds are doing. I'm just going to pull another one. Right. Out of alignment, service card, and that says, I feel good when I can help others. I don't think at the time we should be focusing on too much of external, and I think we should be focusing more on the internal. That's what this card to me is referencing. We should be focusing on what we are doing on an internal level in terms of our go within yourself. You need to go within yourself at the moment and look at all the cogs that are changing and shifting. And I think some of us are wanting to pay attention. Well, some of us are noticing but not paying attention. Pay attention. You need to see where the wind is kind of shifting in your world, where you're being drawn to. We're being shifted away from one place and shifting into another place. And if you kind of have your vision in the right space, or your intuitive guidance systems in the right space, you'll be able to get a bit of an idea of where the rudders are shifting the boat. I keep getting all these references of shifting, right? The rudders turning, the wind blowing, there's all these references to we're shifting, and it's a rapid shift too. My goodness me. Okay, the love card over the top of the discipline card in alignment. The love card says, I commit to the practice of seeing the good in all things. What this is also a reminder of as well is to stay in the state of love, higher space. Love is not an emotion. It is classified as an emotion in our kind of cultural context. It is not an emotion. Love transcends this dimension, space-time reality. Emotions do not transcend this space-time reality. Love does. Why is that? Because love is not an emotion. It is something that we fail to understand on a deeper level. So when we get into that stasis of love, that stasis of alignment, we can actually transcend fears. We can transcend emotions. We can transcend worries, doubts, malalignment, misalignment. We can transcend all of that and kind of go above the clouds, so to speak, and ride the wave of whatever we're experiencing in this present moment. Remember to return to a space of love. When you don't know what to do, remember to return to a space of love. That is the best place for you to sit, especially when things are very uncertain or uneasy. Let me pull from the bottom of the deck as well. Oh, I already did, by the way, so we'll go to that one first. From the bottom of the deck, what you don't see coming, the blame card. The blame card says, I accept responsibility for my well-being. Again, very much in the mentality of you're in control of your journey or your portion of the journey, because we all are reflections of each other, viewing the world, viewing this experience in as many different ways, shapes or forms as possible. We are collective consciousness, all experiencing the same thing from many different viewpoints. Just remember that. So right now is the time, again, referencing this service card out of alignment, to be going within, okay, within yourself. Accept responsibility for your well-being. Go within. Go within. You need to be allowing the universal mechanisms to be shifting out of your world right now, that of which no longer serves you, to allow for all of the brand new, wonderful, wonderful things that are bound to come in. Without, also, we can't be too rigid. I'm getting this message direct from Spirit now. We can't be too rigid on our belief systems. Take away the full stop. If you think you know the answer to something, no, you don't. Okay? Take away the full stop, put a semicolon, in case you don't know what it looks like, that's a semicolon. Put a semicolon and allow the sentence to keep going, because we're about to be, let's call it upgraded in the way we understand many different things, okay? The way in which we live, the way in which we eat, the way in which we absorb, the way in which we do this, that, the other. Everything is upgrading right now. And upgrades, it's funny, we usually denote upgrades to being a positive thing. And I'm not saying it's not a positive thing, but see it more in a neutral space than anything else. It's not positive and it's not negative. Upgrading is upgrading. It's just changing from one state to another. Oh, we have the same tattoo. Oh, my friend, yes. Mine's on my left arm, because it's connected to my heart, right? I'm going to pull another card from the bottom of the deck. So the Patience card out of alignment, and it says, I accept that everything happens in divine order. I know change is uncomfortable. Change is that's what I think this card's referencing. The fact that change is extraordinarily uncomfortable, and people find that challenging to deal with when it comes to, moving from one state of being to another. I always reference the caterpillar changing from the butterfly changing from the caterpillar to the butterfly. And it's funny, many people say, oh, isn't that a beautiful experience? Look at the beautiful butterfly. But everyone forgets the process of metamorphosis that occurs from changing from the actual caterpillar into the butterfly. It's disgusting. It's putrid. I don't know if you know this, but literally it goes into its chrysalis, it creates this hard shell, and then it turns into goo. And then it transforms into this butterfly. Don't know the exact process, haven't looked into it in years, but I do know that it's gross. It's actually, like birthing a child. It's gross. It's not pretty. It's not designed to be pretty. It's change. Change is just what it is. It is what it is. Change is change is change is change. It's not pretty. It's not ugly. It's, it's neither in between. It is what it is. So let go of expectations of how your changes in your world are supposed to look. Who are you to judge what change is supposed to look like? Roll with it. What you should be doing, though, is observing and going, I'm experiencing a change. I need to be, on my toes, as in I need to be paying attention to what is going on around me, not just with my eyes, but with my eye, okay? My eye. Your eye too, right? This eye up here. Our eyes pay attention to one thing, our eye pays attention to another. Use it, okay? Make sure you're using it. If anyone, let me know in the comments below. Would anyone be interested in participating in an exercise where I assist? Good morning, Nicole, tribe member from Canada. Oh, Canada. Sorry, I had to. If anyone would be interested in participating in a free, it's free, experience where I will assist people in opening up their third eye more. If you would like to participate in that, comment below. Let me know. If there's enough people, we'll get it done. I want to try and do like a group of 10. That would be great. If we could get a group of 10 or so people together. It's digital, so it'll be in a setting similar to this on a live video, just not directly on perpelFLAME. I'll set it up somewhere else, and we can all jump on, and we will use the third eye, which is track number 4. Hang on, track number 6 on the Chakra Ameliorate album, and we will open up people's third eye. If you are interested in just opening up your third eye more by yourself, go and listen to track number 6 of the Chakra Ameliorate album. Tribe members, if you haven't already downloaded the album, it's in there in the tribe membership area for free for you. Make sure you download the album, put it on all your devices. If you're not a tribe member, you can either buy the album or you can stream it for free on Spotify. You can stream it on YouTube Music, right? It's available very much out there, yeah? So, but if people want to open up their third eye more, I will help you in doing so. How do I help you in doing so? That's for me to worry about and you not to worry about. I'm a witchy poo, right? It's my job. It's what I do. My capabilities extend far beyond that of which people understand on a regular basis, and you don't need to worry, right? But just know, if you want to participate in that, I can help you to open up your third eye more. You'll learn about it when we do it. How about that, right? So I'll leave that where it lay, but if you are interested, comment below. If I get enough interest, I will do that. If not, I will do it on an individual one-to-one basis, as I usually do anyway with people. I want to pull one more from the bottom of the deck of what we don't see coming. See, release. We're releasing. We're releasing. Make sure we let go during this change period. The guilt card says, I release any beliefs that no longer assist in the soul's growth. That's what this time's all about. That's what change is usually very indicative of. When the collective consciousness is experiencing change, and when we're well, first of all, we are the collective consciousness. You, me, everyone watching this, whenever you're watching this, however you're watching this, if you're watching it on a phone, on a computer, on a tablet, wherever in the world you're watching this from, we are the collective consciousness. So we are the ones that are experiencing the change, therefore adding to the greater change of the masses that are experiencing change. So remember to release that of which no longer serves you. That might look like processing out old emotions. That might look like processing out old thoughts, patterns, belief systems. It might even look like what my place looks like right now, processing out old possessions that no longer serve your soul's growth or assist. Yeah? All right, let's move on to the Saints and Angel cards. I love this card. I'm loving this card. On the flip side of this change, it's clearly a change and transformative process. You know, we are turning into the butterfly. This is validation of that for me. From our guardian angel, right, we've got the dove. We've got our beautiful, hi, guardian angel. I like this card. It's the reward card, right? And the reward card is saying, we will be replenished for our hard work and effort. We will be replenished for our hard work and effort. We must put in the effort, and by us putting in the effort, what that means is to participate in the act of change. Don't resist the changes that you're experiencing. And, I'm getting a download. This could be for someone specific that's watching this. In the realm of career, there is a change coming up. There is a change coming up. There is a change coming up. People's jobs and careers are shifting. In what way? That can look different for different people. For some people, it might be shifting into a completely new company or a new job in particular. For other people, it could look like a completely different career change, like from one industry to another. So for some people, it's just one job to another. That could even be internal in a company, or it could be external. I know, I thought of you straight away, Miss Nicole. I thought of you straight away when I got this. So but it could also be relative to some other people as well. I think it is relative to other people, because I'm getting kind of a multiplex message, from one company to another, or a promotion. You could be going up in a role, or you could be going to a whole new company, or you could be going to a whole new career, right? So there's a multiplex of a message there, and that's how I know it's relative to different people. Now, this from the bottom of the Saints and Angel deck, right? Who is that? Oh, St. Joan of Arc. We love some Joan of Arc up in the house. Now, if you don't know who Joan of Arc is, oh, hang on 2 seconds. On a live reading, call you after. If you don't know who St. Joan of Arc is, look into St. Joan of Arc. It will... okay. Yeah, look into that. Look into St. Joan of Arc, right? But the You're a Leader card, you're a leader. That's denoting... St. Joan of Arc was very much the leader of her own, her own story. She had such courage and determination in driving her own, her own narrative, to the point where we still talk about her to this very day. Me right now, right? We need to make sure that... Sorry, I just got a message. Just took me out of what I was doing. The You're a Leader card. Okay, we need to be the leader in our own lives. Okay, we need to be the ones that are always in control. We need to be the ones that are making the choice. This is from the bottom of the deck as well, what you don't see coming, right? I think you're going to surprise yourself when it comes to how you can participate in that change and transformation, and how you can actually be accustomed to those types of changes. Here we go. From the bottom of the deck, stress management. Try not to be stressed about the changes that are occurring. Try not to view them from any particular angle. Try to be the observer. Try not to live in the emotion of something. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. When we live in the emotion of something, we can feel it from a very heavy perspective. When we feel it from a very heavy perspective, it takes away some of our ability to observe. And I'm always forever trying to teach people to be the observer in their own life. When you observe something as opposed to living in it, right? And of course, we have to experience things. So I know it's a bit of a confusing message, because we are experiencing the circumstances, right? We are experiencing all the bits and pieces. But when we become the observer, we take a step back in the actual crux of the situation. We get to see from a different angle. We get to see different perspectives. Emotion blocks perspectives, right? So try to see things from a different angle, right? See. Not just see, okay? One more from the bottom of the deck. Let's see what we got. Oh, forgiveness. I love that. St. Mary Magdalene. All right, so the forgiveness card. I think people need to be more forgiving of themselves, and remember that you're on a human journey here. Oh, bless you, Mum. You're on a human journey, having a human experience, right? We are here in this, learning school that is Earth, and it comes with it many different opportunities to learn. Our emotions are our teacher. We're supposed to learn from our emotions. The forgiveness card is reminding us not to be so harsh upon ourselves during these times. It's not an easy thing to be participating in all of what we all participate in. And at the moment on planet Earth, we're going through such a rapid change in so many different ways. I know here in Australia, we're going through a cultural change. We're going through a rapid change here. I know in many other countries as well, you know, it's everywhere at the moment. It's in Thailand, it's in America, it's in the UK, it's in Canada, you know, it's in Asia, it's in Africa. There is change everywhere, and I'm speaking with many people. There's something going on. There's something going on. Can you hear the sirens? Anyways, there's just so much just happened even in the last few moments that should be indicative of the message that I'm even speaking to you. And I hope you caught some of that on, you know, through the earphones. Forgiveness of self, forgiveness of others. Okay. What you don't see coming is that forgiveness is going to be very assisting. We don't know how much forgiveness can assist to let go, to release. And when we release, we can start to transform and raise our frequency in different ways. Okay? So, from the Spirit Warrior deck, we've got this beautiful card here. And it's the Matariki card, and on the front it says renewal, rebirth, reflection. Matariki, look up to the heavens at night for a sense of renewal. On the side it says start something new. The reappearance of the Matariki stars from early June signals the beginning of the Maori New Year. This cluster of more than 500 stars is held sacred in New Zealand. It is known globally as the Pleiades or the Seven Sisters because of its 7 most visible stars. And I don't know if you know this about New Zealand, very fascinating that this is coming up in this card. It is that Aotearoa, which is the Maori name for New Zealand, is actually land of the long white cloud. And they believe in Maori culture that everything starts from there in the world. And if you look at clocks, that's where time starts, and it works its way backwards all the way back over to the UK, right? So, Matariki symbolizes a time of renewal and rebirth. What have we been talking about? Change. In the past, Maori would look to the stars for clues to the next harvest. The brighter the stars, the warmer the season, and the more bountiful the harvest. This is a time for reflection. Light a candle for loved ones past, write down your hopes and dreams, take time to relax, and share stories with loved ones. That's a beautiful card and very indicative of what we're experiencing, right? There's the Matariki stars, the 7 sisters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Beautiful. Excuse me. From the bottom of the deck, we've got this card here, which is the Nadi card. On the front, it says, let energy flow, awaken your soul. These couldn't be more perfect if they tried. On the side of the card there, it says, seek harmony. Rivers of energy, or Nadi, flow in our bodies. What have I been talking about? Opening up here, opening up here. The channels of spiritual awakening. 3 key Nadi crisscross around each other as they travel upwards from the base of the spine, where Kundalini Shakti, a sacred coiled serpent energy, lies dormant. When Kundalini rises through the central channel of Sushumna Nadi to reach the crown chakra, we are enlightened. Practice pranayama, bija mantras, and meditation to activate the activate. Activate the Sushumna Nadi and be rewarded by peace, harmony, and a deep self-awareness. The other 2 channels, Ida Nadi and Pingala Nadi, terminate in the left and right nostril respectively and help us to balance female and male energies. And I want to go one more. Let's go one more. Ooh. This card here, which is Yarrow. On the front, it says, blessed are the givers. And on the side, it says, recognize and tend to your needs. Yarrow, warrior herb. The ancient medicine of yarrow heals wounds and restores boundaries. Yarrow's botanical name, Achillea millefolium, is a nod to the warrior Achilles, who used it to treat his wounded soldiers. While the benefits of yarrow are varied, in the language of the soul, yarrow speaks to the wounded healer, the giving person who helps others, taking on too much until the cracks begin to show. Like Achilles, she may be strong, capable, and resilient, but not infallible. Deep within is a place of tenderness and frailty, not fertility, frailty, a sacred wound which must be healed for the safeguarding of the soul. With yarrow by your side, you are fortified to take that journey within. Yarrow can be prepared as a tincture or tea or used in a poultice. I want one more. One more. Ah, no, the box is falling. One more, and we'll go straight from the bottom. Ah, the Enzo. I know this card. I know this card. It's a good card. Beauty lies in imperfection. Zen circle, Enzo. Let go of perfection. Make an Enzo to be free. Let spirit create through the physical body. If you're struggling with being you rather than being somebody else of your Insta feed, consider the Enzo. Traditionally, this sacred symbol of Zen Buddhism is drawn using only one brush stroke. Allowing for no modifications, mishaps as it may be, this circle exists as it is. There is beauty in imperfection, it teaches. We must learn to let go of expectations and comparisons and accept our innermost selves. Seemingly simple yet endlessly complex, the misshapen circle is a manifestation of the true individual that is you. Consider too, the Enzo represents you at the very moment that you drew it, the present moment. That's gorge. That's perfect. That is absolutely perfect and stunning. I love that. Now, I'm just going to see if Spirit's got any more random messages while I pack up these cards. There's some people here not drinking enough water. That's a usual. That happens often. So make sure we're drinking enough water, please. Hydration nation is the key. Don't forget, Grandmother Water Spirit can always assist us with, ourselves and all the formats that we need assistance with. So healing, shifting, cleansing, dreaming, landscaping out there in the ether. I also feel like people need to be doing more energetic clearing or cleansing of their spaces. So if you haven't done a good cleanse of your house recently, now would be a fantastic time. Your car, any space that you tend to work in on a regular basis, that's very necessary at the moment. I also think there's an opportunity to have some... It seems to be people are going through a bit of a bottleneck with finances, a bottleneck that's going to open up very shortly. I can see this bottleneck and it opens up very shortly. Ooh. Okay, people are needing to work on the solar plexus and sacral chakras. Again, track 2 and 3 of the Chakra Ameliorate album, which is available to you all in those methods I shared with you earlier. I'll put them in the comments down below. That just jumped out while I'm packing these up. Perseverance. What else? What other messages do we have? People need to, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, sorry, one moment. People also need to be cautious of over-speaking before you're, so be sure of what you're saying before you say it. Be sure of how you're communicating and what you're communicating before you communicate it. I feel like there's an opportunity at the moment for people to misstep with their intention. So they might intend for one thing, but say it in another way. That's not how they intend to express themselves. So misinterpretations are high at the moment. I think emotions are frail at the moment as well. So be mindful and be cautious of your own emotions and be mindful and cautious of other people's emotions. I can feel this thorny frequency. People are a bit... on the edge of their seat at the moment, waiting for, almost like waiting for the other shoe to drop, waiting for the penny to drop. So just be mindful of that. I want people to also be mindful when traveling to and from places. Be sure to keep your protections high. And what I mean by that is I always like to do a little exercise before I leave to go somewhere, where I envision my destination, and I'll envision my destination and how I'm going to get there, and then I just go. And then once I'm going, I don't think about how I'm getting there, I just do it. And it just happens. And I get there, and there's a spot for me, or whatever it might be, or it just always works. It always works. It's never not worked for me. So just pay attention to that. I also think people should be paying attention about, I don't know why this is coming to me, be mindful of snacking into the evening. I don't know who that's for. That felt very specific. Be mindful of snacking into the evening. I feel like there's this tendency to get into some sort of worrying mode going into the evenings at the moment. Try to avoid that. I think the snacking is adding to the worry. It's not assisting the worry. The reason why you feel like snacking is because you feel like you need grounding. I'd much prefer you go and listen to track number 1 of the Chakra Ameliorate album, The Root Chakra. That's going to assist you with grounding. But the snacking into the evening is a sign of worry. So address the worry and fear. Address the feelings that you've got there as opposed to continuing to worry. Okay, we also have to remember that we are connected to each other, right? I just had this vision of a hand here and a hand here, and energy coming in here and going out there, but going into the next person, right? We are all connected to each other. Just remember that. Remember that. Anything else, Spirit? Now we're crossing over laneways into like mediumship areas, but there are some people who have been trying to, there are some people who are going to see this. They've got people in spirit that are trying to reach out to them, but they're struggling to reach these people because these people aren't noticing their signs and symbols or the things that they are trying to get across to them. So try to be more open and aware, please, because you have got people in spirit waiting to try and get messages across to you. They're struggling to get those messages and guidance across to you because you're not paying attention, right? So a bit more present moment awareness, and not just that, but more open-mindedness to some of the things that you are experiencing. Some of the circumstances and situations you're experiencing are very spirit-led and spirit-driven, and you're not kind of noticing that. You're not seeing that. You're not seeing what Spirit's trying to show you or tell you. And this could be a range of people. This could be people that are deceased. Oh, Jesus, what was that? These could be people that are deceased trying to reach out to you, but it also could be your spirit guides and spirit team. All right? All right. Anyways, I'm going to love you all and leave you there. I hope that was interesting, indicative of what you expected out of this. If it wasn't, you shouldn't be having expectations. Hope that helps in some way, shape, or form. For some reason or another, Facebook is no longer keeping these videos up for more than 30 days. I got a notification today, so I am going to be saving this video, taking it off of Facebook. Well, I won't take it off of Facebook. Facebook will delete it in 30 days. So I will put this video up on the Purple Flame and Company YouTube channel. So make sure you go on over there, subscribe, click the bell notification so you can get notified whenever new videos are released. But if you want to come back and watch this video, you can absolutely do that for another 30 days on the Facebook page. Otherwise, go on over to the YouTube channel and it will be available for you there. So anywho, that's for you all. Mwah. Hope that helped in some way, shape, or form. And I will chat to you later. Bye.